Hello. If you're watching this video, it means that you have a 21st Century grant. Specifically, you have a summer or supplemental grant designed to fund programs that run during weekends, holidays, and/or summer. You're also required to fill out the federal APR. The APR is broken up into terms, and currently we're reporting on summer 2018. So that actually stretches back to the 17-18 school year, the very tail end of it, and it's going to be for the months of June 2018, July, and August 2018. Okay? Now, you're watching this video because you have the grant. If for some reason you have funding, but you didn't run during the summer 2018 term, maybe you didn't run any supplemental programs, or you ran during weekends and holidays that didn't count during summer, you can go ahead and stop here, send us a reply email or give us a call, and just let us know that that's the case, and we can just check a box on the APR and you'll be just fine. Okay, so again, this is for the summer 2018 term only. All right, so without getting into detail about what the APR is requesting, we created this survey just to kind of walk you through what they're going to be asking you, and that way we can just ask these in a simpler format, and you'll just be done very quickly. So this is going to be a very, very short tutorial. So the first thing they're going to want to know about is your staffing patterns. Okay, so on this page, I'll scroll down a bit so you can see it. The only required piece of information for us is just the school. That way we know who's filling this out. So let's pretend that I'm from Julian Elementary. I go there, and then it wants to know how many staff members you had. In particular, what kind of staff members. So let's pretend here that this is my school, and let's say I had one administrator. Now remember, these are the number of paid and or volunteers. So if you're going to put somebody into paid, it had to have been paid out of the grant. So this is probably not very common, but we're just going to pretend here that we had one paid administrator through the grant that was part of the program. Okay? Maybe in this case we didn't have college students, and if you leave these blank, we're just going to assume they're zero. So you don't have to type zeros. You can if you want. You don't have to. We're just assume that anything left blank is zeros. Okay, so maybe I didn't have any community members, maybe I didn't have any high school students. Again, these would be staff high school students. So if you're running an assets program, for example, these aren't the kids that you're serving. These would be paid or volunteer high school students in the program. So maybe in this school we had a couple of parent volunteers. So okay, there. Again, you can put zero in here, you can just leave it blank. And maybe the core of our program is made up of school day teachers. So let's say I had 3 school day teachers. And so there's a couple of subcategories here about other and subcontracted staff. There's also this catch-all other staff in case you have someone who doesn't fit any of these descriptions up here. You can just put them in there. And that's it. Leave anything blank that doesn't apply and answer any questions here. And we'll click next. There is one more page, and this one looks a little scarier than the previous page. There's a lot of pull downs, but it's going to be a little easier than it seems at first. So now they're asking us about activities, and there are certain subcategories of activities. They're grouped into academic activities, enrichment activities, character education, and college and career readiness. Okay. Now there are several subgroups to these groups here, but what's nice about this is they're asking the same questions over and over again. So you'll notice that for every subgroup here, I just have to answer the same questions again, and these pull downs are going to be the exact same for every subcategory. So let's just say that at this school we did run STEM. It wants to know how often, so I'm going to click monthly, and then the next question is how many times per period. Well, I already selected monthly, so that just means once per month. Okay, this will make a little more sense when we select something else. It wants to know how many average hours per session. So we'll say, well, we did, since it was monthly, let's say we did more than 4 hours. The average participants. And now remember, as I'm filling this out, we're just trying to give a rough estimate. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to run any data. You just kind of think back to the activities that we're running and about how many participants you thought there were. So I'm going to put more than 30 on this one. And is it college and career readiness? Yes, I'll say yes. Okay, let's say we didn't run any literacy. We did do tutoring, and maybe we did that more than once per week. So now this pull down makes sense. How many times per week? Well, let's say we did it 3 times per week. Let's say we did it 1 to 2 hours each time, and then the average participant maybe here was 5 to 10. Was it college and career readiness? I'll say no on this one. And so on, right? You have homework help, you have English language learner support. You go down to enrichment, there's some categories there. You can fill them out if they apply. If not, you leave them blank. and so on. Once you're done, you click done. That gets sent to us, and we can fill out the APR and not have to bother you with it. You can always call us or email us if you wanted to find out whether or not we got this information, but the software is pretty reliable, so you can assume that once you're done with the survey, we have the data and we can enter it. Also, as we approach the deadline, we'll let you know if we don't have something from you, and we can figure out what happened. So I hope this was helpful. This should be very easy to fill out. Again, for both pages, the staff and the activities, just estimate, as long as it's pretty close. If you don't remember exactly how many teachers you had, for example, just give us a rough estimate and we can fill out the APR appropriately. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much.